And we are live. Thanks everybody for joining us. If there's anyone joining us right now, and if you're watching later, thanks for watching later. I just got my friend JP here.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, go ahead. Say hey, man.
So, what's going on? I'm looking forward to this. I think, if I know what we're doing.
He's not exactly sure what we're doing, but I had mentioned to him one thing I'd like to do that I don't think anybody's done yet. Is I wanted to buy one of my books that I want, like a Grail or something, or just a good spec book, while everyone watching, like, buy it live, like with a screen share. And before I do that, I got to figure out, well, okay, what book should I get? Because we can narrow it down to maybe 2 or 3, but more than that, you're just going to be looking for everything. And thanks to the Marvel panel at Comic-Con yesterday, there's a lot more stuff that is potential to something to get. So we're going to talk it through a little bit. He also has Go Collect look up, JP does. So we can look up some Go Collect data if we need to know anything about that. So it's just going to be a little interesting here. And what do you say we get started, man?
I am ready. Other than my phone is like, there we go. There's the chat. It's back. It's like we got Antonio. So
I'm bringing up the chat myself.
Yeah, like for some reason I lost it there for a second. My phone's being weird. So
yeah. But anyway, first thing first, I guess we got to talk through these Marvel movies that are upcoming and see if there's anything that we think might be related that is important to get. We were talking off air about Black Widow. Now, that should be mostly about the new Black Widow that they're going to have. I think her name's Yolanda, the blonde one.
Yeah, the Yelena or Yolanda.
Yolanda, something like that.
Yeah. Her and Taskmaster would be your 2 spec books, but I think those have been known too long.
Yeah, the Taskmaster has been spec'd even before anything was suggested. And then it just compounded once we had photos and now this announcement. Yeah. So I'm just going to stay away from that one personally. Mm-hmm. And then Inhumans 5 from 1999 is the other Black Widow's first appearance.
I'm not even sure which one it is, but it's already taken off. I know the cover. I couldn't remember what the title was.
It's Inhumans 5. And I don't know if I like the idea of buying some no-name book that no one probably really cared about from 99 at over $50, which is what I'd have to do right now. So I'm of the mind to just not even bother purchasing her first appearance and just writing off Black Widow and just go see the movie and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Would you agree, or do you think
that's kind of where I'm at on that one? To me, I actually thought her first appearance was like a Black Widow book, but to me, like, if you were going to get in on that book, now it's the absolute wrong time, now that it's official. So really it's about, if you could time it like a day before the trailer drops when nobody knows it's going to drop, then it's probably going to be at the next lowest point before that you can actually get in on it.
So basically you're saying it's guesswork unless you're clairvoyant, then tell us everything.
Unless you're Kevin Feige, who's like knows when crap's gonna come out. You got an inside line to Feige, then you're good.
Yeah. So the next movie I got wrote down is Eternals. Jack Kirby goodness as far as the books go. Eternals 1 was their first appearance. Yeah. They brought in the Celestials, which is issue 2. That's their first appearance. But I remember watching videos with We Love Comics and Reggie saying, get this book, a year ago. So I don't think there's any surprises there, and they're already increased in value. Now they're just going to, bloat up.
Yeah. To me, I mean, to a certain degree, the only thing that's really out there for you now is, like, is if you can anticipate potential villains for some of the ones they really didn't get into that much yet. I mean, it's already too late. Well, right now is the wrong time to get in on most of these stuff because of the announcements yesterday.
Yeah. So. But besides, if you're not sure on villains, or you make the mistake of paying too much, they're usually one and done.
Yeah.
They're not like a hero where you have another chance.
No.
So the next movie I have wrote down, it is my top 2 that I'm looking forward to, is Doctor Strange. What is it? Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Second Doctor Strange movie. Obviously, first Doctor Strange, Strange Tales 110. That's been expensive for forever.
Yeah.
And they already used Dormammu in the first movie, but that might mean it's a good time to buy that book, and that's Strange Tales 126, and that's also the first appearance of Cleo or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Which I think she's in this movie, is she not?
I didn't see that yesterday, so I don't know. That's a good question. To me, that's where like Black Widow and Eternals, they gave enough of the cast yesterday that it's probably too late for anything there. Shang-Chi, they gave the Mandarin away yesterday, so probably too late there. But they didn't really give a whole lot that I saw in rating up on Doctor Strange away. In terms of the villain for sure, or whether Cleo would be in it or anything like that.
Well, what is the price of Strange Tales 126 right now? And then how much was it a year ago?
All right, Strange Tales.
That particular kind of book, 6.0 is probably the grade you'd want to look at to get a rough idea.
Yeah. Uh, 6.0 currently sitting at 120. Last sale in Go Collect is from May, was 107.50. Only 3 6.0s sold. Only one in 2019 has sold. The next 3 were all in 2018, and they were all 115 to 130. If you bumped up to so that's a 6.0. Goes down from there. Basically, anything below that, you're looking at under $100. A 7 bumps you all the way up to $300, and you're looking at pretty consistently going back. There's been three sales of a 7 in 2019, all for right at $300. 2018, it was more in the $235 to $300 range.
Antonio mentioned eBay has them posted for a lot more.
I didn't pull up eBay yet on this. So that was just where it's been going. Strange Tales 126.
Yeah. A lot of, unless it's
let's see what it's doing.
Unless it's an auction, you really don't know, looking at the past sales on eBay or the current asking price on eBay.
No, you gotta look at sold.
Because if you do the other, you don't know if they're going to be discounting it or if someone's going to do an offer that's half and they take it, or you just don't know.
The offers are tough. You can't, like on raw copies, if they don't have the off. No, like Go Collect actually shows the sold value, of the offer on a slab. Or a raw copy, but here's a raw copy that they're claiming 4.0. They sold for 80. That was today. That's the only sale today, so that's the only one kind of in response. Everything else would have been before that. It's going for $50-$60 for raw copies, unless it's a really nice one. Then it was going for a little more. Here's a 6.0 that was a PGX. It went for $129, so it wasn't in Go Collect, or not where I was looking at least. 8.5 only went for $435 back in early July.
So basically what you're saying is anything below a 7 right now for that particular book is reasonable.
Fairly much, yeah. Now, this was looking at actual sales, not at sold, or not at for sale.
Right. So Strange Tales 126, I'm going to go ahead and write down here a 6.0. Try and get it around the 120 mark and adjust with grade accordingly.
Yeah. I mean, now they got like right now somebody's asking 210 for a 5.5, but 210 in the best offer. 225 for a 5.5, which is
right. Now here's one thing I thought of, and I wrote it down here that I don't think anyone else is thinking of at the moment, and that's they've already used Dormammu. If they go through the different multiverses, we might see him again, but I don't think he's going to be a villain. But one person who I think might be a good choice for the next villain would be Nightmare.
And there's been rumors on Nightmare.
So the only problem with that is Nightmare's first appearance is the same as Doctor Strange. But,
that's right.
But if you look at Doctor Strange 170, it's 170, but it's actually the second issue of Doctor Strange. That's the famous cover with Nightmare on it. I think that might be a good book to get, and it's really cheap. I think I bought one last night with my eBay bucks for like $1.60.
Oh, yeah.
So that might be one to get. And I didn't really think of anything else for Doctor Strange. Can you think of anything?
No, that whole madness of the multiverse, there's several different ways they could go there. And I'll be honest, I don't know enough about Doctor Strange and some of those characters to know.
True. And then the next movie I have wrote down is the Shang-Chi. And his first appearance is Marvel Special Edition 15, but everybody's been talking about that one for a while.
Yeah.
So it's already up there. But one thing that I bought last night because it was less than $20 that I don't think anyone is really looking at is, I believe, his second appearance, which is Marvel Special Edition 16, because it is the first appearance of Midnight, his brother.
Oh, okay.
And that's a villain to him. I think it's actually his half-brother.
Right.
And I think there's very good odds we will see his half-brother or adopted brother or whatever in this movie. Whether he will be Midnight from the comics, I don't know, but there's a pretty good chance, since this is going to have to be an origin deal, we're going to see him. So that might be a good book, and right now you can get one for under $20.
There you go.
And another thing I wrote down for Shang-Chi, although it's not really has anything to do with Shang-Chi, it's just a good idea of a book to get, I think, is Amazing Spider-Man 210, the first appearance of Madam Web.
Oh.
What do you think about that one? Because Shang-Chi has had run-ins with her, but so has every mystical character, like your Son of Satan, your Doctor Strange, your Ghost Rider, your Blade, and of course Spider-Man have all had run-ins with Madam Web.
Well, if they're going like a multiverse thing, that's a Madam Web thing too. So, hey Carlito, what's going on? Kachoon, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, he said he put us on the TV, so
so that means Delphia's there too. So,
let's see. Now, the next movie I wrote down is my other of. I said I had two favorites of the announcement. Yeah. This is the other one. Thor: Love and Thunder.
That title.
I love that title, man, especially how it's designed.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
it reminds me of early 1980s metal, like Man of War, Merciful Fate, the classic stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently they had Ronnie James Dio, Rainbow in the Dark playing when they announced that one. That's
nice.
So that's probably cool.
So
this is the one we talked about off air. You mentioned.
Yeah, we talked about this off air. And this is my disappointment because I love that run, and I had never went back and bought the first appearances of Jane Foster as Thor because it's $10-15 book, and I was in no rush. And of course, now it's a $45 book. That number one, Thor #1, with her on the cover. As John's talked about, you could also, and I don't know, I have not actually looked today. She actually appears in that Thor 25, which is the end of the run where he can't pick up the hammer. It actually shows her in that book. And then I think it's 25. Mighty Thor 25 or God of Thunder 25, I think. God of Thunder 25. they changed the dang title so many times on that. And she's in that one too. I haven't looked at that one today. I could look. And then of course there's always the what if Jane Foster became Thor, which is kind of the first time they actually went down that road.
That is true. And then of course we also have a recent comic, Valkyrie 1, Jane Foster as Valkyrie.
That comes out next week.
Yeah, so that might be one to pick up then.
Yeah.
We can all get that at cover price.
Yeah.
That'll be an easy one to get on the cheap. It's cover price.
So no, look at people are on the God of Thunder thing too. First cameo of Jane Foster's Thor is the way they're listing it on eBay, and yeah, it's so all of these books are going crazy right now, which means to me is wait. That movie is 2.5 years away. The big announcement was yesterday. People are going to forget about it. Now, the book might not go back to where it was yesterday morning, but it'll come back. It's not going to – there's enough of those books. There's a high enough print on all of those that those books are going to come back. So, yeah, that God of Thunder, Thor God of Thunder 25 from 2014 is right now going for about $35. And let's scroll down here. What was he going for? Like 2 days ago, it was a $10 book.
That's hilarious. Now, as far as the TV shows, I didn't bother writing anything down for them. While they may increase a book or books in value, I don't think it'll be as big and as many people as the movies. So I didn't write anything down for those. But the last thing I have wrote down here is the surprise announcement of Blade.
Yeah.
Now, we all know Tomb of Dracula 10's the first Blade. That's been expensive for a while, which means as of right now, it's probably even crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's crazy right now.
But there's a lot of other books that could tie in with it. For example, we have Tomb of Dracula #3. That's the first Rachel Van Helsing. That's a possible book to get. You also have Tomb of Dracula #13. That's the first appearance of his dad, I guess you could say, Deacon Frost, the vampire that bites his mother.
Yeah.
And then you have Tomb of Dracula 25, which I was able to get for, I think, $1 or so online last night. It's the first appearance of Hannibal King. And then you have ASM 101 Morbius. Although they're doing him with the Sony pictures, he won't be in
he's
there.
on the Sony side.
Yeah, he's on the Sony side, but still, it reminded me of it. Everyone's quieting down on ASM 101.
Yeah, I was going to say, that one's come back because it's been quiet on that movie front for a while.
Yeah. And then the final thing I wrote down is Spotlight #5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a book that's been on my radar for a while. And while no one's announced anything yet, we will, I assure you, see Johnny Blaze at some point in the Marvel movies.
Right.
He's been on TV. And that wasn't even Johnny Blaze. That wasn't even Danny Ketch. That was Robbie Reyes.
Yeah, Robbie Reyes was on TV, but yeah.
Yeah. So I really, after going through these, I really don't see anything that shouts out to me as you need to get it now, except some of this Blade stuff, but we can wait on Blade.
Well, all of those, like several of those are far enough out that like now is when you take the note of, start watching this, but none of those are go buy it. Unless literally you were on eBay last night when he said the word and you go click. Otherwise, now is not the time to buy.
Well,
yeah,
unless it's
Timeline Doctor comes out this Wednesday. It does. Yeah. So
unless it's less than $20 or a key book that everyone knows is a key for a while, it'd be dangerous to buy something now just for speculation. I mean, we're shouting things out, but I'd be very wary of running and getting them now, especially even if a year from now, before anything comes out, I'd be wary. Make sure you do your research.
Yeah, no, like I said, those like I wanted those Jane Foster books just because I wanted them, and I just had not gotten around to them yet. And so, no, I'm just gonna keep watching that and wait for it to come back a little bit, which it will, and because it'll all calm down, and then get on them then. So that's my plan.
All right.
Yeah, Blade won't come out till 2022 or 2023. You got time.
So from what I see on this list here, I might want to pick up Madam Web, ASM 210, and maybe look at Strange Tales 126 because we've already been through Dormammu, and I don't know if they'll use Cleo or whatever her name is. And everything else, I've already bought what was really cheap. So I think I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
I think so.
On all these. But we also have my list that I have of a bunch of different books that I want to get. And that's one thing we need to narrow down is which ones should I go after? Because for those of you who come in late, what we're going to do is at some point in August, hopefully, JP and I are going to get together again, and we're going to do a live purchase of a Grail. I'm going to buy one online, and I'll screen share, and you guys will come with me and do it. And JP will be my wingman, talking me out of crazy, stupid stuff, and checking the prices with Go Collect. And,
you know.
So
that's too high.
So here's my personal list that I wrote down. I've already got New Mutants 98. I need Hulk 180, 181, 182.
Let me jog some of these down so I remember.
Oh, you don't have to, man. I'm already going to knock some of these out. Not even
okay
right now. So as far as my personal collection,
do not buy Jane Foster today. Wait, patience.
So as far as Incredible Hulk 180, 181, 182, I have that listed. I have a copy of each listed in my personal collection, my speculation that I want to get, and also for investment later. Yeah. So I'm thinking I might want to try for one of those, but I can't do 181 in the middle of August. No. I think I might be able to do 180.
180?
Yeah. That might be one I go
first appearance. I like it.
Do what?
The one that should be worth the most.
Well, so saith Marvel. It is the first appearance. Now
I know, it is the first appearance. It's just not his first cover, and that cover is iconic. And I get why people have gravitated to that book. But
and then let's see. I already got New Mutants 98. NYX3 is one I'd really like, but I think I'm going to hold off on it because we haven't even introduced mutants, let alone the sub characters of the mutants, like the clone of Wolverine.
Yeah.
You got to get Wolverine before you have his clone.
Yeah.
And besides, she's already been in one movie, so they'll probably wait a while on her. And finally died. Anyway, then there's Werewolf by Night 32. That might be one to look at, but it's one that's prices are going all over the place now.
People have been all over that book for a long time.
Yeah, and it's crazy the prices. So that one may be one to may not get, but look into as well. And then there's I got a few more listed, but I just won't worry about them. Now here's one that I think a lot of people aren't thinking about, so they should be cheap compared to what they once were. That's Marvel Superheroes 12. That's the first Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That one should have gone back down from how high it was at when the movie came out. So can we take a look at that one and go collect? And go
look at that, or you want to look? Okay, I had the 180 pulled up, but I will pull up Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
12.
Number 12. We can look at where it's at now and then maybe a year ago where it was at. Because that was a year ago was before the movie.
Yeah.
But everyone knew about the movie. So it should
it was crazy. Why is it? Whoa. What am I doing here? Search. There it is. I didn't have the.
Amazing Nerfinator.
What
I
grade do
do
you want?
have a lot of early ASM, but that's listed in my investment book category. I will get them, but at a later date. But yes, I do have my eye on those.
Tomb
What were you
Raider Center 12. All right, where are you thinking on grade for this?
Well, that depends. Where does it go under $300?
8.0 is at $300.
Oh, we'll go with 7.0 then.
Okay, 7.0.
So right now, 7.0 is what?
Go Collect says fair market value is $200. Most recent sale was mid-June for $215.
And then how about a year ago?
So it only goes back. So June of basically actually the same for this grade. May of 2018, it was in 215, 220. It was there again still in November. It dropped under 200 actually, kind of, and just after the movie came, or just before the movie came out, it was going for like 190, 195, and it's been hovering right around $200 all year.
Okay.
There's been several sales at this grade.
Well, that might be one to go after then. And then the next thing I have wrote down, Miss Marvel 18, First Mystique.
Okay.
I like Mystique. She tends to be a character they do a lot with. They used her with Rebecca Romijn in the first movies. And then, of course, she was whatever the crap that girl's name is. What is it?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. She was Mystique, a big part in the movies. So I am sure the next Mystique will play a big role. So I want to get Miss Marvel 18.
Okay.
We won't bother looking up the price on that. Now, I also have wrote down Savage She-Hulk #1. I have Savage She-Hulk #1 in a 9.6. I don't know if I want to try for another copy or a 9.8 or if I should just let it be with what I got. I like She-Hulk mainly because she's drawn hot, and that's pretty much my liking of She-Hulk right there. Yeah. I don't really care for her, although I have to say the John Byrne run was sensational, was hilarious. I love that.
So 9.8s are setting at 350, and that's very consistent. I mean, the last several sales, 359, 355, 335, 360, 355, 360, 354. I mean, 404. There's a 404 in there. 360.
Okay.
So that, I mean, that's been very consistent for 9.8. Whereas your 9.6 is $150 to $200 book.
Yeah. Well, considering I have $50 in it, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I may just forget about that one. Now, here's one that everyone was going after, and they still may because it's a Neil Adams cover and the first appearance of a huge character. But I want to try and get Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal, 134, the first cameo of Darkseid, which for some reason, much like Wolverine, is the more expensive one compared to Forever People #1, which I don't even have on this list.
Yeah.
So that one I think I might want to go after. And in mid to mid-high grade, I think that one's affordable, like from a 6 to an 8.
8.5 at 400, 8.0 at 350, 7.5 300, 7.0 210.
Yeah, so that'd probably be a good range to shoot for. And then the next thing on my list is Brave and the Bold 54. I got one coming in the mail and one already slabbed. I'm good to go there. I also have Brave and the Bold 60 wrote down. And for those of you that don't know, that's the first Wonder Girl. I have a copy. It's at
and
CGC.
The first time they used the name.
Yeah. I have a copy. It's at CGC. Depending on the grade I get, will determine if I want to get another copy.
Oh.
Then I have DC Comics Presents #26. That's the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. I have a copy of that, and it's double signed, but it's not in a grade I liked. So I definitely want to get another copy of that one.
Okay.
And it, except for 9.4, 9.6, 9.8, except for those 3 grades, it looks, last time I checked, it's fairly reasonable.
9.8 is 775, but immediately drops to 300 for 9.6, 9.4, 210, 170, 9.2, and down. So,
All right. So that might be one to look for, because that's one of my long-term speculation books. And then I have the original Teen Titans, 1, 7, 22, 23, 45, 48. I'm not worried about any of them for right now. I have Tales of the Teen Titans, 44, 50, 56. Not worried about any of them at the moment. And then New Teen Titans, I have 1, 2, 16, 21, 22, 23, and 39. I think I have at least one copy of all of those, if not doubles or triples. I got to do some inventory, but I also have a bunch at CGC right now. I want to wait till they come back before I decide whether to get more copies of the same.
okay.
And now you might recall, if any of you were at my auction sale, the big book that was in the long box was Silver Surfer #3.
Yeah.
It is actually the next book on my list. I just want a better grade, and I want to buy it already slabbed. So that one, no one.
Hey,
go ahead.
Oh, I just shouting out the chat. Old Wolf, Happy Camper, Metropolis Kid. So, and then people who have been Antonio and Amazing Murphinator who've been here for a while.
Yeah. So sorry, guys. I'm not on point as I usually am.
You're fine.
Anyway, so Silver Surfer #3, no one's really talked about as far as the movie people, but we know at some point it will probably come, since Doctor Strange is the first foray into horror.
Yeah.
Mephisto will not be far away, and who knows, he may cameo in that movie as a part of the multiverse.
I was going to say, I think there's a shot he's the villain of that Doctor Strange movie. If you're not, like, I think it's a shot. The multiverse thing makes me think not so much. I thought that's where they were going to go before they announced the title. I thought they'd go with Mephisto, but
they still might. That title leaves a lot open.
And Mephisto's big enough that, like, if they did it right, he could be the next kind of big bad before they set up like Galactus and the Fantastic Four and stuff. Like, he could be a build-up bad guy.
I still think the next one should be Kang.
Yeah, because of the time thing.
Well, yeah, that, and one other thing that I'll mention in the Doctor Strange movie, we're dealing with the multiverse.
Yeah.
Who is the judge of mystical balance in the multiverse? The Living Tribunal.
Yeah.
He's already been name dropped in the first movie. Mm-hmm. We may see him again.
Yeah.
Or we may actually see him.
Yeah, that's one that Reggie's been talking about for a while.
Yeah.
Living Tribunal is a spec book.
Let's see. The next one I have, I know we have at least a year before anything's done. Daredevil #1.
Yeah.
I think I may want to try and go after that one, but I don't know what grade to look at.
Well, let's look. Let's see where Daredevil #1's at.
We may want to start at a 5.0 being our top end,
well, and
then go down.
I mean, that is, of the kind of Silver Age first appearances, that is probably the one that is the farther behind some of the others to a surprising degree, in my opinion.
Well, it's not the best cover, and he's not the most popular character. So,
I mean, you're still talking, though, a 5.0 at $2,200.
When do we hit under 1,000? How far do you have to go?
2.
A 2?
2 is $900.
You say a 9.2?
A 2.0.
Oh, okay. I was
$900.
Well, we might want to put a pin in that one then. I'll worry about that one later. Let's see. Next book, Fantastic Four, 48, 49, 50.
those books have been going up for months, man. You're late to the train.
I know, but I don't think I have to worry about it dropping and losing a whole bunch of money.
No.
That's why it's on my list, is because you can still get those, and as long as you pay close to the market value, if not lower, you should still be okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking under 1,000 for 48 is a 4.0, and you're looking at 850 for 48 at this point. 49.
The only reason I would want to get 50 is if I already have 48 and 49.
Yeah. 49, 50. You're looking at, to be under 1,000, you can 6.5 at 750. A 7.0 right at 1,000 right now.
All right.
On 49.
See, I view number 50 as Incredible Hulk 182.
Yeah.
You just get it to complete the thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll try for one of them or not. Now, here's one I really do think I should try for, and it has potential. Hero for Hire #1. And by the way, in case anyone's wondering, there's only 3 more books left that I have wrote down. But anyway, or excuse me, 4 more. Hero for Hire #1. I think that one is at a good price point, and it also has a lot of potential, being the first Heroes for Hire, which Shang-Chi is eventually a part of, as well as Iron Fist. And, of course, it's the first Luke Cage.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking 8.5 at $500 on that book.
Man, that one's really, really good on price then.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, I mean, a 7.0 is $250.
So the next book is one that I only have down here because I'm a Wolverine fan, and that's Iron Fist 14, First Sabretooth.
I feel like that book's people have been all over that book for some reason recently too.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I just feel like I've heard about it a bunch. But you can still get a 9.6 for under 1,000, 9.6 at 850. So 9.0 at 325.
I would be a 9.0 man at those points.
Yeah. 9.2 jumps to 425. 8.5, 300. So, yeah, the sweet spot there, if you're looking, 9.0 is a pretty good. The other kind of 7.5 is not bad at 230. So.
Yeah, Carlito here mentions the first spec book he's got this year is a steal of a deal on a first appearance of Valkyrie. He's going to get it graded. Way to go, man.
There you go.
Yeah, that one, I thought about putting it on there, but then I decided not to. I may regret it later, but we all regret something. And now the next thing on my list is 2 ASM books, 121 and 300. I don't even have to tell you what they are. All of you already know.
Is 300 still a spec book at this point?
Well, I don't think it's so much a spec book as it is, when the value should bump.
Yeah.
Like, we know there should be an increase in value when the trailer releases for the next movie.
To me, like, of those books, of the 300, I think you're better off chasing 361. Because we haven't seen Carnage yet, and that book hasn't jumped yet. That's just from my perspective. I don't know that it'll jump like 300 does once he's in the movie, but we know he's coming, but that's just me.
The problem I have with that is, one thing that I try to do is, when I go after a big book and spend a few $100s on one, I want it to be like a 7.0 or a 5.0 before I get under $100 on the book. And that's my problem going after 361 is, once you go below like a 9.4, you're around 100 or less, and it just drops significantly below that.
Yeah. Where
if you go with a 300, a 5.0, I think, is where you drop below 100. I'm not sure.
No, not right now. Shoot. Well, 2.0 is still saying 150. So.
Oh, really? So
5.0 is saying 180. So.
Yeah, that just proves my point even more as far as The 300 is one that.
No, I just think that, but I think that's going to change once he's in the movie. I think that book's going to go to a different level, but from where it is.
I don't doubt it, but I think you're better off hunting for a deal on it after it's shot up, so you know more about how low you can go in grade and pricing and all that. Much like the 300 is now.
Yeah, 300. You can get all the way to a 9.2 for 350, and that's where it starts jumping after a 9.2.
But
and then it kind of just steps down from there.
Yeah, but if you really want a good deal as far as making money on a 361, you really need to have a 9.6 or a 9.8.
Yeah, you're correct on that.
So, I mean, a buddy of mine bought one raw for $100. Thought he did a pretty good deal, but he didn't ask me to look at it, and he didn't open it up. Turns out the staples were very, very rusty.
Oh.
So he wound up getting a 9.4.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about 121? I think that's the better spec as far as 121 versus 300.
Well, 121, you're looking at 8.0 is where it starts. That's the 350 thing, and then it starts jumping from there. And it kind of steps, and it just kind of steps down from there, from at 350 for an 8.0, 325, 290, 280, 260, 240, 220, 290.
So 7.5 probably a good sweet spot for that one.
Yeah.
All right. The last book I have, we already mentioned before, and that's Marvel Spotlight number 5, First Ghost Rider. That one, I've never owned it before, and I would like to, but I don't like it so much that I'd want it in my personal collection.
Right.
But I think it has some value as a speculation book because Robbie Reyes is the only Ghost Rider we've had. I don't like him. He's only been on TV. So as far as movies, they'll probably go with Ketch or Blaze, and because of how similar Ketch is to Blaze as far as the motorcycle and the jackets and all that stuff, I think if you get Marvel Spotlight number 5, you'll be pretty well off on that.
Yeah.
What does that one look like?
I'm pulling it up here. Marvel Spotlight.
Where do we go below the $500 mark?
$500 mark is a 5.5.
Okay.
It's at $500 right now. So basically steps down $50 at a 5 and a 4.5, $100 down to $300 at a 4.0, and then below that it's still pushing $300 basically. So
yeah. So that was the last
sales below that.
Okay, that was the last book I had on here.
Okay.
Out of those that we mentioned, I know you didn't write them down or anything, so
I wrote a few of them down.
What really floats your boat? What do you think would be one to try and go after? I think my budget is going to top out at like $600-700, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll say under 500 to keep it safe.
Under 500.
And I would prefer to have a 5.0 or better.
Under 500.
Yes. What do you think? I know ASM 121 speaks to me.
What are you wanting something for investment, or are you wanting something for you?
These are all speculation books. I haven't even got to my list for investment yet.
Okay. Because I was going to say, for you, the book I would go after for under $500 is 6.5 or a 7.0 180.
Yeah. Now, if we do get that one, like I said, I have 180, 181, and 182 listed in personal collection, speculation, and investing. And that's not have one that goes in all three. I want 3 copies of each one of those books.
So right now, 180, because we didn't look up 180, we just went by it. 180. 7.5 is 600. A 7.0 is 475.
I like that.
5 is 450.
I like the 7.0.
Yeah, 6 to 7.0 is going to be in the $400 to $500 range.
Now, the only trouble with that is because it's a mutant Wolverine, and as of right now, because of all this announcement with Feige, they're probably not going to budge on their best offers and all that as much as they normally would. So I'm either going to have to hope for an auction, or I don't know, because they already list them for a lot more than they're going to be able to sell them for already.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing with that is that book ain't coming back, though.
True.
I mean, where 181 is going, everyone is shifting toward 180 because they can afford it and they can't afford 181. So,
well, I'm going to have to do some work and do some saving, but I'm going to get me a 181. Don't you worry.
Yeah. To me, I'm trying to remember everything you said here. I wrote a few of them down.
No.
The Silver Surfer 3 is a good book.
Yeah, like I was saying, just off the top of my head, top 5 would probably be ASM 121, Silver Surfer 3, Jimmy Olsen 134, Hulk 180, and then Miss Marvel 18.
No, that's a good list. So
what? You froze
yeah,
up.
no, I did, or you did.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Or was I just setting? Funny. So, apparently my phone went to sleep. Like the stream or something froze because.
Well, what were you going to say?
No, I just said that all 5 of those you listed to me, I think those are all good targets.
And
read them one more time. Let's see. You had Silver Surfer 3,
ASM 121,
ASM 121,
Jimmy Olsen 134, Hulk 180, and Miss Marvel 18.
Marvel 18.
To answer your question, Metropolis Kid, I don't want to speculate at all on the Atlas comics because while they may go up in value, I do not see them going up so much as Marvel or DC going up. And I don't even see them going up as much as Valiant because it was just sort of a pop-up company that they tried to do. It only lasted a few years and it folded. So, if you can find them in your local shop or something, or you're traveling and you go in a shop and you find them for like a few bucks, by all means, if you want to, go ahead. But I don't think I would spend any more than $10 or $15 on one of those books. It's just too much of a risk, and you have no idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Antonio's mentioned that those are going to be long term before something happens. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No,
I think those are all good books. My only concern with the only one I have any thoughts on of maybe not being as good as some of the others you listed is the Miss Marvel 18. And maybe that's just me, but the fact that they've already used her twice makes me think that she won't be a priority when the time comes. But I could be way wrong on that. That's just.
Well, they used Wolverine in everything.
Well, I know they do.
And we're all wanting to know the casting for Wolverine, not anyone else. We don't care about anyone else. We want to know who is Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I think they will use her again, and I think she'll be a major role, maybe not the major role, maybe as major of a role as she was in the first or second X-Men movie. But I think there's potential there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
And she's one of my favorites for Marvel female villains.
Well,
so you know what they say about buying what you like, just in case you're wrong on some of this stuff.
Oh well, yeah. That's my list is stuff I want, and I'm not doing much long-term spec. It's mostly stuff I want, and if it goes up, then great.
Yeah. Now, do you want me to list anything on the investment books for you? Let you hear any of them, or do you?
Yeah,
you
sure. Oh, I thought that's what these were, the investment books.
No, if we want to go investment books, it's a shorter list.
Okay.
You already know Hulk.
Books. That's right.
Yeah, you already know Hulk 180, 181, 182. Batman Adventures 12. You'll find there's a lot of DC on my investment.
Yeah.
Batman
underrated.
Oh, you're writing them down?
Oh, what? No, sorry. I can write them down. Batman is.
Oh, you don't have to. I was asking you.
Go ahead.
All right. Batman number 16, 49, 139, 181, and 232.
49. This one's 49.
49, I forget, but I know 16 is the first Alfred, and he was fat.
First Alfred.
I'll forget, but it doesn't matter. And then the next thing I have, GSX-1.
Yeah.
That one would be for investment.
Yeah, and continue to climb, but it's
and it's easy to find, but it's also easy to overspend because it's going crazy. That's one reason I didn't mention that one earlier. Avengers number 1, number 2, number 4, and number 8. I have number 10. It's being graded now, but I don't have 1, 2, 4, or 8. Of course, number 1, we all know what that is. Number 2 is just the number 2.
Right.
And number 4, I forget which one that is.
Number 4, that's no.
Oh well, it doesn't matter. But number 8 is first Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next thing I have, you'll be really into, is Detective Comics.
Okay.
Number 31, which is one of them I'll probably never get.
I was gonna say.
But the other two I've listed are 225,
25,
and 359.
Wait, 359. Which one's that? I forget. Which one is that?
That's that. That's it right there.
I just gotta have an excuse.
I'm actually looking for it about the grade you got it in if I were to buy it.
That's about the sweet spot at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe a 4 or 5. You can go a little higher, but the 5s have kind of jumped in the last year. So yeah, right now that 4 to 4.5 is really your sweet spot on that, because a 4 and a 3.5 go for basically the same price.
Oh crap! We got more people in here. Stacy's Weekly Comic Book Pools and Bueller. Bueller's in here.
Bueller, what's going on, man?
Hey, sorry, I'm kind of got 4 or 5 different things I'm looking at. Didn't see you guys come in. Thanks for coming.
So
the next under my Detective Comics, the Murphinator will like these. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, number 14, number 33, and number 50. And I know all of these. Number 1 is obviously just the number 1. Number 14, I believe, is the first Green Goblin.
Yeah, that's Goblin.
33 is that famous watercolor.
Oh,
not
okay.
watercolor, cover.
Yeah.
By Steve Ditko. And then number 50, we all know, is the first Kingpin, solid red cover. Great early John Romita.
Oh, great books, man.
Yeah. And then Superman, I have issue 30 and issue 61. Issue 30 is undervalued, but it's issue 30, so it's still expensive.
I was going to say, is there such a thing?
But, and I forget what issue 61 is, but issue 30 is the first appearance of Mxyzptlk.
Oh, okay.
And I think it may be undervalued because no one knows how to pronounce his name. But in the early issues of where he appears, it actually goes through and shows you how to pronounce it. And it's Mxyzptlk.
First Kryptonite is 61.
Yeah, first Kryptonite. Those are the ones I have for Superman. Then I go to Fantastic Four, which I had 48, 49, and 50 in the speculation. In the investment column, I have number 1, number 2, and number 5.
1, 2, and 5. Okay.
So first appearance of the FF, first appearance of the Skulls, last where they don't have costumes, and then first Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And Doctor Doom, now that Marvel has him, he will not be a one and done.
Oh, no.
He will not be a 3 and done. He will probably not even be a Thanos type character. They will use him and use him and use him.
Loki, if not more than.
Yeah. So that one would be an excellent book to invest in. And then I only have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 more books listed for investment, and they're all Action Comics.
Okay.
I have number 15. Probably going to be too expensive. I have number 64. And then I jump all the way to 242. I think that's first Brainiac. And 252, that should be first Supergirl.
Yeah.
So
those are some big boy books, Will.
I know. That's why I didn't include them on the list of things to maybe buy next month. It's also why they're listed under investment.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I mean, if I just got Batman 16 and Action Comics 15, that's probably like $6,000 right there in low grade.
Batman 16.
So
Batman 16.
You're looking them up?
Well, I'm just Batman annual. Batman. Come on, give me the actual. Oh, here we go. Batman first appearance of Alfred. So what's it given as a value? 2.0, $1,300.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
But now Action 15 would be in 1939, if I'm not mistaken, or 1940. What is it on that one?
Action 15. All right. 15. If they even have a value. Sometimes some of the. Oh, that's not what I wanted. The one where he's stopping the train, or the
yeah,
I
think that's it.
Or no, submarine. It's a submarine. Sorry. Doesn't say what the spec is on that one.
I'll look that up while you look up the price.
August of 39. It says. Basically, not saying Go Collect saying not enough to make.
Well, if you go to the analyzer, it should have.
Yeah. 4.0. The most recent sale was 5,500. 1.8. Most recent sale was $5,000.
Yeah. So, like I said, $6,000 and very low grade if I got the boat.
0.5 was 1,000's most recent sale, but that was way back in 2012. So.
Action Comics 15 has an advertisement for the 1939 World's Fair.
Oh, okay.
That's why I want that one.
Interesting.
So nothing major as far as comics, the universe goes, but that's a pretty interesting piece of history.
Here you go. The most recent sale of any grade appears to be of April of 19, and that's a 4.5 that went this year. Went for 8,300 of Action Comics 15.
So I would be looking for probably a 1.0 to a 0.5. And I probably would not be able to get that.
Yeah.
But, I'd be trying. So that's the whole list, man. Do you think we narrowed it down any? You think?
Oh, you narrowed it down on the. If you're actually after those 5, then yeah, you definitely narrowed it down some.
All right. Well, what I'm going to try to do is the next time we come on is hopefully I will have AC. So I will not be sweating. I'm already sweating. And I should have a better seat and this arranged so I can actually see the chat like I'm supposed to instead of looking down at my phone. So, all right then. Well, unless you got anything you want to add while we're live to the people or plug anything, I think we're good to go for this one.
Well, I will plug something. I will be back in almost exactly an hour on my channel. Hialeah is going to join me, and I am doing kind of a look back at my look backs. I've been doing those for exactly 6 months this week, and we're going to just talk about what we've kind of learned from those. So if anybody else wants in on that discussion, thinks has some good points to make, sort of talking about what we've been talking about a little bit, but mostly just like what we've learned from the books that made that list and what they did afterward. And yeah, so we're going to be doing that in an hour. Then I'm basically going to disappear for a week. I got work stuff all week. So no Gotham City Chronicles Monday, which it was supposed to be. That's been pushed off to the 29th. We're hoping. Kavi has got some issues at his house. They're having to do some work. So we'll see if that actually still happens on the 29th.
Well, all right then. Well, thank you, JP, for joining me.
All right.
And,
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for everyone else for joining us. I think we had up to like 10 people, 13 watching. That's pretty good.
There you go.
Considering there's some other people on live, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll catch you guys later. So see you.
Later, everyone.